She's on the verge of tears, and I wanted to share this with you because um, it's not abnormal to be overwhelmed with homeschooling, depending on how old your kids are. What I can tell you is that it's very normal to have this sense of overwhelm because you're the one that's in charge of not only parenting and bringing up kids in the way they should go and making sure that they're amazing adults, but the weight of understanding that you are in charge of their academics can be overwhelming. So, we're going to talk about this. How do you homeschool when you are so frustrated that you're spending your moment this day, this season in tears and in what feels like an endless season of panic and anxiety? The first thing is that down in the descriptions, there is a free masterclass called The Three Stages of Homeschool. If you don't know where you are in homeschooling, I'm going to encourage you to take that class because that's what unlocks the frustration that this particular mama is dealing with right at this moment. Her kids are 8, 5, and toddler. So they're young. And she's frustrated and overwhelmed because she can't get them to sit at the table for more than 45 minutes at a time. And even those 45 minutes are like pulling teeth. And so in our life coaching group, I was able to share some insight that I think will bring some peace and some calmness to you too if you're at any point struggling in homeschool. Which you will, because I did, and I know that, my husband and I did everything that we thought we needed to do, and we still would freak out sometimes that we weren't teaching the right things, we weren't socializing the kids enough, they weren't academically far enough down. Fill in the fear. We dealt with it all. Fill in the anxiety. We dealt with it all the way through. So if your kids are younger, one of the in the free class, you'll learn about the 3 stages. The first stage is the foundation stage where they learn their ABCs, how to basically read. And I say basically because they're not going to know big, huge, chunky words like phantasmagoric, but they're going to be able to read enough to fall in love with reading. They're also going to learn their basic numbers and patterns and that kind of stuff. Foundations. If your kids are in the foundation stage and you are feeling overwhelmed, 9 times out of 10, 99 times out of 100, actually, what I've seen to be the reason that parents are freaked out and frustrated when their kids are in the foundation stage is because they're looking at academic tasks like worksheets, workbooks, coursework, lesson plans, rather than their master homeschool goals, which is something that we teach you how to set up inside. You can even Google inside here. There's on our webpage, I'll link it below after. There's a video on your master homeschool goals. So if you're looking at the task rather than your master homeschool goals, you're basically sitting in the weeds picking at things rather than getting a bird's eye view of where you're headed. So think through it this way. If your child's 5, 6, 7 and they don't know how to read, and you're trying to work through curriculum that is lesson 12 of teaching your child how to read, and you're frustrated and they're frustrated and there's tears, and you're looking at this going, I'm such a failure. But if you can step back and look at your master homeschool goal should be by the time my kids graduate high school, they're marinated in literature and they love to read. So if that's the goal, that they're going to love to read and that they will have spent the last 10 or 15 years being marinated in story, if that's the goal, then how important is that lesson really? It's not important at all. As a matter of fact, it's counterproductive to your master goal because you're teaching your child that reading is frustrating and that you are frustrated if they don't progress fast enough. See, that's the task, the weeds. It's ugly, it's sticky, it's dirty. You do not want to infuse your child with this feeling and sensation that learning is frustrating and hard and causes conflict, right? That's very different than Let's have some hot chocolate and let's read some stories. Oh, I love this is one of my favorite books when I was little. Let's read it. Do you want to read it again? Falling in love with story. With math, it's the same thing. You're doing lesson 49 of a math book. You're scratching your head because you don't remember how to do the math the way that this new book is teaching you. You get frustrated. You make your child cry. Okay, I made all 5 of my sons cry over math right around 5th grade, right around when the hormones started coming in. But you're looking at math because I knew it, but I had a hard time articulating it in a way that they learn. I didn't have the tool that I have now where a simple test reveals what your child's strength in learning is and how to use that in order to educate them in a way that they receive. So great. And if you're curious about that, just put mind print below and I'll give you information. So if you're looking at lesson 47 in the math book, you're confused, frustrated, your child is in tears, and they're saying things like, I'm terrible at math. And you're saying things like, I don't really get this. This is hard. It's frustrating. Now you're looking at the lesson. That's different than if you step back and you say, what's the master goal? By the time they graduate high school, they're going to know all their basic math facts. Go, okay, basic math facts. Add, subtract, multiply, divide, decimals, percentages, fractions, measurements, that kind of basic math facts. Okay, by the time they graduate high school, now you look at your 7-year-old and you say, how important is this lesson really? Because if what you're teaching them is math is hard and frustrating and is going to break our relationship, but we're going to do it anyway because it's good, even though it frustrates us both and makes us both want to cry and break pencils, you're not you're not aiming for the right goal. So understanding where your child is in the 3 stages of homeschooling, paired with understanding what those master homeschool goals are, it's going to set you free in education. The second stage is called flourishing and fun. It's my favorite stage of homeschool. It's after your kids learn to read and it's before they start looking beyond high school. And you're able to fine tune what they're learning. You're able to just have fun in learning. Sorry. You're just able to have fun. They like dinosaurs. You learn about dinosaurs. You love sourdough bread. You learn about sourdough bread together. And you just have fun exploring. And anytime you touch a new topic, you think, is there a math way? Is there anything that I can pull in for math? Are there any books about it? Guaranteed, almost 100% of the time, you can go to Amazon and you can say, children's book about sourdough bread, and somebody somewhere has written a children's book about it. And if not, maybe you can. So you look at books, you look at history and science and music and food, and you go, okay, I can bring this dinosaur unit, this ocean unit, this seashell unit, this fill in the blank unit to life by adding different things from different topics. And you just have fun falling in love with learning and making it all hands on and amazing. If if your goal is that your kids are going to fall in love with learning, then in stage 2, you need to spend a lot of time having fun learning. You need to have fun learning. Your kids need to see you learn how to do new things. Right now, I'm in the middle of creating, and yours is going to be different. You might paint. You might try to learn how to ride a unicycle. You might learn how to plant bulbs so that your home becomes this beautiful garden. I'm personally learning how to crochet using a kit that sends me a new block of information, all the materials, and this Afghan, this blanket is filled with every single block is a different stitch, and it hurts my brain. Some of these things I've had to rip out 30 times, but an exercise, and I say out loud, "This is so good for my brain. This is teaching my brain to be resilient. This is teaching my brain how to solve problems. This is teaching my brain, reinforcing how I follow directions," all of these things as I'm piecing this Afghan together. Your kids need to see you learning. They need to fall in love with learning. And if you're looking through your master homeschool goals is that they're going to do things like fall in love with literature, fall in love with learning, become an excellent communicator. And those are things that you can work on in that second stage, that foundation stage. And then in the last stage, the launching stage, that's when you really roll up your sleeves and you get deep in the academics. But the academics at the launching stage are best played, number one, when you know how your child's brain works, right? You know what their strengths are, you know what their blockers are, and you are teaching them in the way that their brain learns best. And they're learning about their brain. They're learning about how they learn, why they learn, where they go if they get stuck. Launching, they have a goal of, hey, I want to become a master archer or a orthopedic surgeon or a trash collector. Doesn't matter what it is. You put that goal out there, and then in the launching stage, you are doing everything toward that goal. And it's beautiful. They're all in because they see the value of what they're learning has real application in their life. But if you look at the lesson, if you look at the curriculum chapters, that's where it falls short. So this mom, and I'm guessing homeschool parents out there, because I was one of them, that struggled with frustration and overwhelm, 100 well, almost 100% of the time, it comes from looking at the lesson and not the child, looking at the lesson planner and not your master homeschool goals, right? These are things that you need to have set in place in order to guide and direct you, because you're going to have frustrating days where the math doesn't make sense, or you can't figure out how to get your child to get their thoughts out of their head and get it onto paper. You're going to have days that are struggles. But if you don't have your goals in place, then it could end up being a train wreck. You could end up hiding in a closet with Oreos and kind of locking your door so that you can just kind of pull yourself together. Understand that if you're overwhelmed and frustrated, you're not alone. It's par for the course. It's the very first module, very first thing that we go through in our life coaching for homeschoolers is that there is a very real emotional roller coaster that the parents go on as they're learning to educate their child in the way they should go. And it's very real. And we all get tripped up. And it tends to be because we're looking at the lessons and the lesson planners. And what's coming to our ears is all the noise from people that don't understand how amazing the homeschool journey is, or all of the noise, even from well meaning homeschoolers that are telling you, this is the curriculum that you should buy. This is the plan that you should follow. These are the things that your child needs to learn. And all of this noise causes confusion, and confusion pricks your emotional well, and out comes all of this frustration and anxiety. And then suddenly you're wallowing in this puddle that creates an unlearning environment, a not going to learn anything today environment. So instead, in closing, my YouTube family, thank you for being out here. If you like anything that I share out here, it helps the channel. If you like, subscribe, and hit the bell. Most of the people that share time and space with us out here on YouTube are not yet subscribers, and it helps the channel if you actually like and subscribe and hit the bell. Know that, get your master homeschool goals in place because they will guide and direct you the entire way through homeschooling. Get your flow of your day under control so that you can see your pocket of time, and then surround yourself with, or at least find one, two, or three homeschoolers that are a little bit further down the road than you and that are successful. You look at them and you say, I like the way your life is. I like the fruit of how your children are. Teach me what you know. And then you take golden nuggets from them and you make that a part of your life. You don't do everything that they do because no families are the same, no kids are the same, but you get to glean golden nuggets. So surround yourself with people that are living the life that you want to live, and those are the voices you listen to. And you have to start tuning out all the other voices. And just know that on the other side, once you let go of the frustration, once you let go of the chains of curriculum, right? Curriculum is a tool. That's all it is. It's just a tool. It's one of the things that you can use to educate your kids. But once you let go of you break away from the chains, then you are cultivating stronger relationships with your kids. You're falling in love with learning right alongside them, and you're teaching them real skills that are going to give them an unfair advantage in this world. It's just the way it works out. So anyway, that's my thought for the day, for the moment. I hope you're having a great day. If you're curious about the mind print, I will drop a link for you to actually check that out. It's powerful to have a tool, an easy tool, a non-academic tool that actually will share with you. It's the same test NASA. It's the same tool that NASA uses to help their astronauts know how they problem solve. I'll put the link to that down below so that you can get some information. And take the free masterclass, the 3 stages. It's paramount that you understand where your kids are in the journey so that you don't accidentally bury them in work that is just way above their pay grade. Have a great day. See you next time.